What do we got this week, Dad?
Hey, this week we've got Wild Nines.
DP, what's going on?
Alarico.
And the Star Wars Rebellion. Here on the Electric Playground, right, Goofy?
Everyone has questions for this guy. He's one of the top executives at Sony and one of the coolest guys in the industry. Wow. Wow. We are here with a great friend of mine, Phil Harrison. How do you perceive the console competition out there, Nintendo and Sega?
We've shipped over 30 million machines worldwide, so our competition is movies, music, watching TV.
What about the PC market?
The $2,500 PC with a 3DFX card is very cool, but it's only for a very small number of people.
How many PlayStation games are there total?
Right now in North America we have just over 400 titles. Worldwide there's about 1,200 games out for PlayStation. Hey, it's me. Can you drop a DualShock down here right away? Have a play.
Wow, cool.
Do you get a buzz out of that one? Do you like the vibe that you get from that?
And what about different colors for these things?
Well, we have a whole rainbow of colors coming out for
yeah?
controllers and memory cards and other peripherals that are available for the PlayStation.
What about different color PlayStations? I mean, there's so many different ones. What's up with that?
We have the gray PlayStation, which is the consumer machine. We have a black PlayStation, which is the Net Eurose machine.
When I first came in, I noticed a gold one you had in the office.
Well, the gold PlayStation is something that happens with alarming regularity. We keep passing these huge milestones for 10 million, 20 million, 30 million.
Must be awful.
So the office is cluttered with all these gold PlayStations. We don't know what to do with them all. The biggest selling PlayStation game worldwide is probably Final Fantasy VII.
Is it? Tekken?
Crash Bandicoot 1 is up there. Tekken is up there. Tekken 3, which is out now,
be up there.
has shipped millions and millions of units in the first few weeks. So that's going to be one of the biggest games ever. The Tomb Raider franchise, Tomb Raider 1 and 2, those have all done over 1 million. Game Day, that's done over 1 million.
Really? Wow.
We have a cornucopia of hits.
Cornucopia. A goat's horn depicted as overflowing with fruits, flowers, and corn, signifying prosperity. The rebellion is upon us. Help us, Victor Lucas. You're our only hope.
I'm with Tom Byron in a galaxy far, far away, and we're here to talk about Star Wars Rebellion. I'm sure that people are going to be rushing out to pick this thing up because it's got the Star Wars license on it. Is there anything that you could say to sort of let them know, give them a heads up on what they should expect?
Well, they should expect a game of a very deep, immersive strategy.
Can I assist you?
Do you think that there was some misconception about what kind of a game this was ultimately going to turn out to be?
We were worried about that at first. There was some talk about it. Is it like a Command and Conquer, or is it like more like Master of Orion? That confusion, that early confusion has kind of gone away.
What are some of the things that people can look forward to as they get into this game and give it some time?
You have 200 planets. You have to explore and take over those planets. You have to find characters and use them. And this can go on for a long time.
Right.
Particularly when you're trying to manage the resources of each one of those planets as well.
A quick tip for the new gamer is when you start the game, start it on easy, and then pick the one planet quickly. If you're on the Empire side, you have to find and capture Luke Skywalker. You have to capture Mon Mothma, who's the leader of the Rebel Alliance. And you have to capture the Rebel base. And if you're on the Rebel side, you have the same sort of conditions to meet. If you actually win the game, you'll see these very great cutscenes. You know, I always say this is not a game about cutscenes because it's all about the game, but you know, one thing about the cutscenes is that they're certainly LucasArts quality. So when you first start the game, you've already made your choice as to whether or not you're going to be playing the Rebel Alliance or the Galactic Empire.
Right.
And when you get there, let's take a look. You've got a lot of windows, a lot of things that you're going to have to deal with. But the first thing you see is the command center. You see your planets. So you see a lot of familiar planets, like Corellia, where Han Solo's from, Kessel. You've heard about the Kessel Run.
Yeah.
Tatooine, the native planet of Luke Skywalker. So a lot of familiarity, a lot of other planets that you haven't seen, like Gorman.
It's almost encyclopedic how much information is stored within this game. Where did you guys get all that stuff?
And there's a lot of source books. The Art of Star Wars, there's actually books devoted to the characters of Star Wars, to the planets of Star Wars, to the ships and crafts of Star Wars.
Who makes sure that's all correct? Who makes sure that you guys don't screw up and put a planet in the wrong system or the wrong character in the wrong place?
That's absolutely done all through Lucasfilm licensing.
Okay.
Lucasfilm, they have people on staff that are absolute experts. They're the keepers of the Bible, as it were.
Thanks very much for your time, Ty.
Thanks for having me.
This is great. Are we there yet?
Any minute now. Prepare for hyperspace.
Hello!
Where is the best place to bring portable video games?
I don't know, the beach maybe? School, definitely school. English class.
The best place to bring them, in the swimming pool.
There's lots of time for slacking at work, so.
Anywhere, really, anywhere. Libraries, political meetings, everywhere.
The biggest selling video game system ever of all time is the Game Boy.
Hi, we're here at Nintendo of America. We're going to talk about the Game Boy, which has lasted forever. This thing has been around for almost 10 years. Mm-hmm. Why has it been so successful?
The Game Boy is so portable.
What are some of the early games in its history that were real trendsetters that really sort of put the Game Boy on the map?
Tetris.
Yeah.
Tetris is the huge one. I still play Tetris. Mm-hmm. And I think the other really huge one for Game Boy was Zelda. Mm-hmm. And whenever you talk to somebody about Game Boy, those are the two they mention right off the top.
How do game developers make games for the Game Boy? Because obviously you don't have a lot of memory to play with. You don't have a lot of storage to play with.
One of the keys behind making a successful large Game Boy game is compression. You can use data. For example, let's say you have 2 levels of a game. You can use some of the graphics data on the first level. You can also use that same data to be modified subtly.
There's going to be a color Game Boy in the near future.
Right.
But before that, there's going to be something called the Game Boy Pocket Camera.
Yeah, I could actually show you if you want.
Yeah, let's see.
I have one in my pocket.
Pocket size.
And it looks just like a cartridge, except it's got a camera on the top. You just put it in the back here like a regular Game Boy cartridge. It's got a big eye lens on it, which rotates 180 degrees. You can make animations and create your own sound effects. There's also another device that you can get in association with the Pocket Camera called the Pocket Printer.
Oh.
So you can take pictures of your friends, or you can take pictures on your vacation.
All right.
And then hook this up with the Game Link cable and print out the pictures that you took.
Okay, well, why don't I hold onto this one, and you can show us how this thing works on the Super Game Boy.
All right.
Okay.
Good. You're going to have to duck down here
into the camera,
in the camera range. And then, let's see a picture of yourself. You can add some comments, some text, little eyebrows on you. Put a frame on here.
Scary.
You want to select print and communicates with the printer just like it would if you had another Game Boy hooked up.
That's me. It's mini-me. Can you tell us a little bit more about the color Game Boy at all?
It's all pretty hush-hush right now. The color Game Boy is it's in development. We'll know more about it when E3 rolls around.
Please make it color. Please bring me a little bit of color in this tiny little screen.
Why has it taken so long to create a color Game Boy? And why is it happening now?
10 years ago, already there were color LCD screens, but they were very expensive and also they were consuming a lot of batteries, so they were not suitable for the portable video games.
This revolutionary new screen that'll display 56 colors will be launched on November the 23rd in time for the holiday season. And the really good news is, of course, that it's backwards compatible with all 1,000 titles that have already been published for that system.
Now, at last, the so-called reflective type TFT LCD has come to the market. By utilizing this, you don't have to consume a lot of batteries, and the price has significantly gone down. And so, after all, it took 10 years to come up to this stage.
You're going to see us all on the show floor with a T-shirt that says Game Boy Forever, and doesn't it seem like it?
Game Boy's going to continue on to have a awesome year, and it's just going to keep going forever, it looks like. Thanks a lot, Mark.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Recently, Heat.net had me over for lunch. Flesh Feast, the new game you're producing, tell me all about it.
Flesh Feast takes all the gore, all the horror, and all the intensity of a zombie movie and throws you right in the middle of it. You play the role of 3 heroes that are trapped on this island. They're suddenly beset by zombies. They have to figure out what's going on. They have to figure out how to survive. And if they don't, then they're going to end up being basically food for the dead. So yeah, you play the role of the 3 heroes plus other humans that you can bring in. There's actually about 40 or so different characters that you can bring into your group. You can play 4 at a time.
What's the deal with the zombies?
Well, you can play as the zombies in a multiplayer mode. We call it the Eat Your Friends Deathmatch. The zombies are the threat to the humans. The zombies are hard to stop. They want to get the humans. They want to kill